The trailer for the next episode of The Penguin has been released online, and it gives us a good look at what's to come in this excellent new show in the Batman saga. Episode 2 continued where Episode 1 left off, presenting to us a gripping gangster tale set in the Batman epic crime saga, and one that surely is going to get more interesting as new episodes come out. The Batman series has had a great start, and it promises more of the detailed deep dive into both the city's corruption and Oz's plans to grab power. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my breakdown for the Penguin Episode 3 trailer, alongside my predictions and theories for the episode. The trailer will be linked in the description of this video if you haven't seen it already. Before I get into it though, if you want to keep up to date on any of my future content surrounding the Penguin series, the Batman saga, and other upcoming DC projects, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating and subscribing to the channel. But without further ado, let's dive into my trailer breakdown for the Penguin Episode 3. So the Episode 3 trailer for The Penguin was released online following another fantastic episode that debuted the other day on Max. The trailer features new scenes from Episode 3, which is titled Bliss, and again being directed by Craig Zobel. Now, the official Episode 3 preview that Max released didn't give us any new footage at all, but there was a separate promo that was uploaded to YouTube following Episode 2, and in that trailer we do get some unseen clips. So because Max didn't release a teaser with a lot of new footage from Episode 3 themselves, it makes me think that there could be a lot of spoilers being hidden from this upcoming installment. It's either that, or because of last week's trailer having a lot of footage from multiple upcoming episodes. So maybe they just didn't want to show too much more, having shown quite a decent amount already. But regardless, let's get into some of the things that were shown in the other promo for Episode 3, and my theories for what could happen. So the start of this Episode 3 promo shows us that we continue right from the end of Episode 2, with Oz teaming up with Sofia Falcone against the crime families that aim to keep them away from power. We see Renzi Felice's Victor clarifying with Oz that they are now partners with Sofia. Now, they do kind of mislead you with this footage because they make it look like Victor and Sofia are in the same room talking for the first time. But if you pay close attention to Oz's change of clothes and the fact that in one scene he appears in the Iceberg lounge with Sofia, and in another he appears in his flat with Vic, it makes it clear that Victor is still being kept hidden from those such as Sofia. Speaking of this, I think this is actually signifying that in Oz keeping Vic away from others, this could be where something backfires for him in the later episodes. I mean, if we look at what happened in Episode 2, Vic was almost caught planting the jewels in Johnny Viti's car, and the man who spotted him has now seen his face. So Oz has to be incredibly careful with Vic, and he can't afford any more slip-ups. I don't know if Oz feels confident enough to have Vic in the same room as Sofia, especially this early after what they did in the previous 2 episodes. So I think Vic will stick to the more hidden schemes that Oz has been getting him to act on. When it comes to Oz and Sofia teaming up though, it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of that in this upcoming episode. In particular, it looks like Episode 3 is going to focus on what we talked about in last week's trailer breakdown, in that Oz and Sofia are going to keep business going through the opening of the Iceberg Lounge. The new promo reveals that the Iceberg Lounge has been refurbished and brought back after the floods at the end of The Batman. Now, of course, the ending of that movie and the start of this series show the Iceberg Lounge in a ruined state, meaning that a primary location for the Falcone business is currently out of order, hence why we're seeing them stick to their mansions and the streets of Gotham. But now we see Penguin in a fresh white suit, scenes with Sofia Falcone there, the club having been reopened with many partying inside, and those there taking the drops. Now, last week, I predicted that Penguin would convince the Falcones to keep the drop operation alive, therefore reopening the Iceberg Lounge to get operations back in the proper way. But after what happened at the end of episode 2 and learning that Oz and Sofia were going to take what they think is theirs from those in power, it made me think that what we actually might be seeing with the Iceberg Lounge is the both of them taking things into their own hands, essentially starting the drops operation and reopening the Iceberg Lounge without the consent of the extended Falcone family. Now, I don't know what the ramifications of this would be or how Luca Falcone might react to Sofia and Oz doing this. The trailer may again be hiding that aspect, and we don't know the true context of everything happening at the club. But what I will say is that there's a brief clip of Sofia being held at gunpoint towards the end, so maybe Luca or even the Maronis have sent someone to take her out. And maybe Oz comes to the rescue at this point to further show that she can trust him. Another moment between Sofia and Oz that we get is a brief look at the both of them watching shipments be sent to Arkham State Hospital. Now to me, this looks like the beginning of their operations together, and my only guess at this point regarding what this is them using these shipments to hide the drops. I think that whatever's going on with the drops here will lead to Oz and Sofia showing how successful the operation can be, how the rest of the Falcone family are angered by that, and then how their success culminates in the reopening of the Iceberg Lounge. We'll have to see how all of this culminates, but there's clearly going to be some issues along the way as well. And one of those issues looks to be Michael Kelly's Johnny Viti. Now, we know that Penguin tried to frame Viti in the previous episode, and based on the Weeks Ahead trailer that came out last week, it looks like he's doubling down on that plan. In that trailer, we saw Viti tied up to a chair and water being thrown over him by Sofia Falcone. And in the episode 3 trailer, we see that shot of Oz taking a knife to Viti. So it looks like Oz is going to be setting him up, and now that he's gained the partial trust of Sofia, it looks like the both of them will be going after Kelly's character. I think after seeing Oz frame Castillo with the pocket knife in episode 2, he's already put a target on Viti's back, especially after fighting with him and making a scene. So I think we'll see him devise a plan to make it look like Viti had ordered Castillo to kill Maroni's associate, and I think he'll convince Sofia that this is what happened. Add on that Oz and Sofia's drop operation could be disrupted in episode 3, and Viti had previously said that they couldn't undertake that process, and it just makes him look even more guilty. So Oz is really starting to stir the pot, and you can see exactly how he aims to target the powerful individuals above him one by one. The final thing I wanted to talk about regarding this new trailer is actually the extra footage we get for Victor Aguilar, because we did get quite a few new shots surrounding his character and things that suggest more on his backstory in the weeks ahead. In the episode 3 promo, we see that Vic is struggling with things that have happened in the past, and we get an introduction to what looks to be his girlfriend, the one he received a text from in episode 2. Now, at the start of the trailer, we see that Oz talks to Vic during a meal. He says to him that the world was not set up for the honest man to succeed, and that America is a hustle. This is immediately followed by Vic saying that he's seen stuff that he shouldn't have, and a shot of him looking quite shook up in the toilets of the Iceberg Lounge. Now, I don't know if we're going to get flashbacks to the Batman's flooding in episode 3, but shots were shown of that in the official trailer for the Penguin prior to its release, and they featured Vic's character. So what's happening with Vic surrounding his past definitely suggests that we're going to be getting info on that soon. We also know that a flashback-heavy episode is coming for Oz, Victor, and Sofia based on last week's trailer. So I think in episode 3, we're going to get the bigger hints and building blocks for all that stuff before they actually show it to us in a later episode. We saw Vic looking at those street posters in episode 2 about people who were missing, so it's clear that he's affected by this and has some deep-rooted trauma that we're going to learn about. I definitely think it's to do with the flooding because again, we see Vic in one of the main trailers for the Penguin trying to survive that event, and hearing him talk about what he lost in that flooding definitely means we're going to find something out. Now, his meetup with his girlfriend in the episode 3 promo could also tell us that he's got someone he loves who's still around. Maybe she was the only one there for him after the flooding, and during his time on the streets since that apocalyptic event, they've continued to look out for each other. Whatever happens, something big is being kept under wraps regarding Vic, and episode 3 suggests that we're going to learn more about it. But that was my video breaking down the trailer promo for the Penguin episode 3. I will be covering the 3rd episode next week here on the channel, so stay tuned for more on the Batman series. Just to let you know, I will be going on holiday in the middle of next week, so my breakdown for episode 4 the week after won't be dropping till a few days after the episode airs. After that, I will be back on time every week to cover every new episode in the DC series. But if you've seen the trailer for episode 3, let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of the new footage and what you think might happen in this next episode. For much more videos and news on the Batman universe and DC, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, rating, and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.